Okay, the first thing you should know about Game of Thrones is that it takes place on a fictional continent called Westeros. The Starks are a nice, noble family who live in Winterfell, a castle in the north. There's Ned the Patriarch, Arya the Tomboy, Sansa the Proper Lady, Bran the Mysterious One, and Jon Snow the Brooding Bastard. Ned leaves Winterfell and goes to King's Landing, the capital, to help his old friend King Robert. Long story short, the King's wife, Cersei Lannister, has the King killed, Ned finds out stuff he shouldn't, and Cersei and her jerkwad son Joffrey, the new king, execute him. Then all hell breaks loose. Ned's son Robb and his wife Catelyn declare war on the Lannisters. King Robert's brothers both want the throne for themselves. It's a complete mess. Eventually, the Lannisters win the war when they plot to kill Robb and Catelyn at a wedding. But then, jerkwad King Joffrey dies at his own wedding. Karma. Everyone blames Tyrion Lannister, who's the black sheep of that family, even though he's the nicest and smartest one. He's put on trial, and there's a duel to the death. His brother Jaime breaks him out of prison, and then Tyrion kills his own father and pieces out across the sea to Essos, which is this whole other continent. Once there, he joins up with Daenerys Targaryen, the daughter of the crazy man who was king years before any of this happened. Dany's been doing stuff this whole time. She married a warlord, she got rid of her abusive brother, she hatched a few dragon eggs, and she built a big army. She is a badass. And now Tyrion's going to help her reclaim her father's throne, which is currently occupied by his big sister Cersei. And while all that's happening, Jon the Brooding Bastard joins the Night's Watch, which is supposed to defend Westeros from evil ice monsters called White Walkers who live beyond the Wall, which is a giant ice wall that runs coast to coast. Jon goes beyond the wall, he falls in love with the girl who lives there, she dies, he becomes Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and he tries really hard to convince people to set aside their differences and focus on the White Walker problem. But his Night's Watch brothers don't want to hear it, and they kill him. They kill their boss. But the spooky Red Witch who used to work for King Robert's brother is on hand, and she resurrects him. Yay! Then Jon teams up with Sansa, who's gone through her own journey, believe me, to retake Winterfell from the awful Bolton family. After that's done, Jon is named King in the North. That brings us to the most recent season, where Dany and Tyrion return to Westeros and fight Cersei for the Iron Throne. By the end of it, Jon has convinced Dany that the White Walkers are the real threat, but Cersei is being selfish and won't help on account with her. The last thing you should know is that Jon and Dany are boning. But what they don't know, what Bran and Jon's friend Sam do know, is that they're actually related. Jon grew up thinking he was a bastard, but he was really the true-born son of Dany's older brother and Ned Stark's sister, which means he's sleeping with his own aunt. Awkward. There's more we could discuss. We didn't even get into how Arya is a face-stealing assassin, but you're just going to have to watch to get all the details. The final season airs April 14th. Winter is coming.